Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with your CRM project there. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday, focusing on different aspects of Workbooks and CRM. And today I'm going to focus on why we believe Workbooks is different from many of the other CRM options out there. Now, this presentation will be about 30 minutes or so in duration, so it's just an overview of some of these key differences and information on Workbooks. Everyone uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements. I wouldn't have enough time to go over this morning all of the extensive capabilities of Workbooks. So after this session, if you want to explore Workbooks in more detail, between us, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session with you and your colleagues, and we can then obviously go over your specific needs. Now, also on the call today, we've got some people who I know are already trialing Workbooks, may have seen it before, so some information you may know already, so my apologies for that beforehand. The audio part of the presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. If you've got any questions, please think of any questions as we go along. I'll do my best to answer those at the end. As you think of those questions, type them into the question section on your meeting control panel. It should be lurking in the top right corner of your screen there. And as I say, I'll answer those at the end. Also, this call is being recorded. After the presentation, you will receive an email with a link to the recording, which you can obviously play back at your leisure, and will most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. Firstly, a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. We're an independent supplier of different CRM systems. Workbooks is the most popular system that we provide, very popular with small and medium-sized companies all over the UK. We've been doing this a long time. We've implemented well over 3,000 systems in our time into all sorts of different types of companies, sizes of companies, from sole traders right up to some implementations of many hundreds of users. And with Workbooks, it's a cloud system. There's nothing to install. You can be up and running very, very quickly. We have clients that set up their own systems, teach themselves how to use it. There's lots of resources available. But we're here on hand to assist you if you need us any step of the way with implementation, setting up Workbooks to your requirements, customizing it, integrating with other things, migrating data from old systems into this, training you. We can come to you, you can come to us, we can do it online, and ongoing technical help desk support. We've got a friendly, responsive help desk here ready to answer any of your questions. So in working with you, what we want to try and get at is, what do you want out of your CRM system? What issues you're looking to solve? What objectives you're looking to achieve? Are you replacing an older CRM system? Are you just starting up in business and you recognize, you know that you need a business to help you develop yourselves going forwards? Are you wanting to do better marketing, attract sales and quotes more effectively, acquire more customers, improve customer service, improve time management? Maybe a combination of all this. So it's really good to sit with you and try and establish what those key goals are. And then when we've implemented the CRM system, maybe after a few months, we can look back and maybe start to think about and maybe even measure how successful this investment was and what are the tangible benefits that you've had from Workbooks CRM. So what is Workbooks? Well, it's a central, easy to use solution for managing all the information about your business contacts and your interactions with those contacts. There's some marketing tools in there to help you be more targeted with your communications to your leads and prospects. Unusually for a CRM system, we'll be going into this in more detail, we can do quotes and we can manage an order process with Workbooks as well. There's a customer service capability. Do you have a support team, engineers, technicians, They too could be using the workbook system. It's not just purely for someone in a sales and marketing role. You could have service people as well. They're there as well, and everyone is using the same system. So you're working more efficiently as a team and improving communications internally amongst yourselves in sharing client information and activities. Now, as well as it being a personal productivity tool, it's a great management tool as well. So if there's any managers out there, are you a manager? Do you manage people or processes? Then Workbooks will be a solution for you, as well as it being a personal productivity solution to help you make decisions and manage your business going forwards. Now, Workbooks is a UK system, 100% cloud. All of the data is stored securely in the UK with a level of security, quite frankly, that most small and medium-sized businesses could not afford on their own. And it's very reliable as well. Last year, we had an uptime of 100%. It's always going to be there for you. It's never going to fail you. And it's available to you on a wide range of devices as well, whether you're using your browser, your smartphone, a tablet, whatever you've got real-time access to all of your critical client information. So let's just quickly focus on some of the key elements before I dive into the system proper and go through why we think Workbooks is so different from many other systems out there. So first of all, of course, at the heart of a CRM system is a database of all of your contacts, your leads, your prospects, your customers, your suppliers, people you partner with. They're all different types of records in the system. It's very customizable. So shortly when I show you the system, these screens can be changed to reflect the nature of different types of information that you want to track and the different types of relationships that you've got with all these people. And you can also deploy different security levels as well. So if there's some information that some people shouldn't see or edit or delete, you can do that as well. Umpteen levels of security you can define there to make sure people get to see the right level of information. You're also using it for tracking your customer activities, your schedule, so reminders of callbacks, tasks you've got to do, your meetings. There's a diary in Workbooks. That diary can be shared with Exchange or Outlook if you use those systems, so that in a bi-directional way, as you put activities into one system, it will automatically appear in the other, and vice versa, plus any changes to those as well. So you're building up a wonderful history of everything that you've done and your colleagues have done with that customer, which can be tremendously useful from a service point of view, because you never know when it might be important to know what was said, what was done to a particular customer at a particular time by a particular person. Now we can integrate with any email system out there. So as you send and receive your emails, and actually the integration is very good with Outlook. So as you send and receive your emails, they're being copied into the client's history. You've still got the emails in your normal, inverted commas, normal email system, but a copy of it together with attachments are in Workbooks together with that client activity history there. So a combination of those, great way of seeing everything that's been going on with that customer. And we include mobile access, mobile app, so wherever you're, whatever device you've got real-time access to that critical information. Now Workbooks is also a marketing tool as well, so we can very easily upload and extract information from Workbooks for whatever marketing purpose. So when you go to an exhibition and you come away with an Excel spreadsheet of all the visitors to your stand, you can easily upload that information to Workbooks and start working on it. Another way of thinking how you can get information into Workbooks, because Workbooks is web-based, we can also expose information out there on a website, but critically you can have a form on your website that invites someone to fill in their information and submit that to you. That becomes automatically, it becomes a lead record in the Workbook system. And with a bit of workflow and automation, it can then route itself, importantly, to the right person. So if you think about that, every inquiry that comes in through your website is going to be automatically recorded, and someone is going to get some kind of notification fairly instantly to do something with that lead. So nothing's going to slip through the net. Easy ways of creating lists in Workbooks. So before doing a marketing exercise, let's say you want to do a newsletter, you want to promote an event or a new product, you create a list. Any of the information that you've got in Workbooks, you can create a list on. So a list of contacts by contact type, or what products they've got, or what products they're interested in, or some type of activity you've done with them. You can create lists on that. And we interface with pretty much three very popular email marketing platforms out there. Probably the most popular one is MailChimp. So have you heard of MailChimp? Are you using MailChimp right now? We've got a nice automatic two-way link with MailChimp. I'll show that to you very, very briefly. So the list that you create is automatically uploaded to MailChimp. No need to do any of the exporting data or importing data, none of that malarkey. It's so easy to do, very seamless. And MailChimp would do all the stuff it does, create a nice looking email, deliver the email, and then importantly, back into Workbooks, we can see against the client's record the emails they were sent, what did they open, what did they click on, what are they interested in, what pages on your website did they go to, and also observing bounce backs. Maybe the email address doesn't exist in somewhere, there's a problem with the email address, and of course unsubscribes. So we still have a record of this customer in the Workbook system, but we're prevented from mailing to them in a marketing sense in the future going forwards. Another important thing for a CRM system is to manage processes, manage steps of actions, events, tasks, and nothing is more critical than the sales process to many commercial operations. And as part of that, we've got a way of creating nice looking quotes and proposals. And this is in effect, this is one of the differences between Workbooks and many other CRM systems out there, is that it does have this quote creation capability. Many other leading CRM systems, leading in inverted commas, don't have a quote capability. They rely on either doing it with some third-party product, or maybe some integration, some weak integration to a quotation system. But everything is part of, with Workbooks, everything is included. A nice way of doing those quotes in the system as standard. You can store your price list in the system as well. You can import price lists into Workbooks. So if you regularly get price list updates from a vendor of yours, from a supplier of yours, that can be uploaded easily into Workbooks. You can create different quote layouts as well. These layouts are actually, when they're sent to the customer, they're sent in a PDF format. So nice small format, very secure. Customer can't change the information, and you can define these different quote layouts for different quote situations in your company with Workbooks, and all fully integrated with. Now this is another big part of any proper CRM system, the way of tracking opportunities or jobs or inquiries, call it what you will. In fact, all of the terminology I'm using, customers, prospects, opportunities, calls, you can actually call them by different names in Workbooks if you want to. So if you don't like the word opportunity and you prefer the word projects, for example, you can relabel that. So you put in your language. You don't need to stick with it. You change it to what you want. So using the opportunity, we can track a lot more detailed information about the inquiry from the customer, the type of inquiry, the stage it's at, its value, its probability, all the information about it. Really extensive, really in-depth. So with Workbooks, potentially we've got the holy grail here of a software solution for a small and medium-sized business, to have one solution which manages the customer journey from getting the initial lead inquiry from wherever and going through qualification of that lead, negotiating with it, creating quotes, recording opportunities against that lead. Hopefully then the customer, this prospect, purchases something, so it becomes a sales order. We may want to create purchase orders to suppliers. We're then fulfilling and managing the delivery of the product or services through workbooks. We could invoice the client as well through workbooks. And then the story starts again using workbooks as a marketing tool. That customer now is part of future campaigns going forwards, and so the story starts again. So a great tool to proactively work on all of your contact information. Nothing sits still with workbooks. And a great way, another difference of workbooks is ability to track orders and invoices. Many other CRM systems out there can't do that. They would rely on some flaky integration or no integration with tools you might be using right now, like QuickBooks, Xero, Sage 50, Sage 200. What do you use in your company for billing and managing your order process? Well, that could be done, depending if it's right for you, that could be done in the workbook system. So a quick mention about customer service. If you have any customer service people there, technicians, engineers, they too could be using workbooks. What are you using right now for tracking service calls? You're using another application, you're using Excel or some in-house system. You could do that in workbooks, an easy way, and again, very customizable, tracking all the information you need to know about that service call or case, as we call it, a case or a ticket, this issue the customer has. You can also apply deadlines. So in a customer service area, do you have service level agreements? Do you have some agreement, formal or informal, that you've got to respond to a client request, say within 2 working hours or 4 working hours, or you've got to solve this problem, this query or this bit of advice, you've got to solve it within 8 working hours. That rule can be put into workbooks, and then 24/7 it's monitoring itself. It's advising you of any potential breaches of these SLAs, and so from a customer service point of view, you're improving your customer service levels, and you're getting back to people on time with hopefully the right answer. And of course, when you're recording this information, you're building up a wonderful history of these issues. You can spot trends. Essentially, when you can track information, you can measure what's going on there in your company or your department, then you can manage situations in a better way. You can make more informed decisions about what's going on there. And in a way, you can be building up also a knowledge base of typical problems that you get and solutions for those. Right, last slide. You'll be glad to know before we dive into the demo proper. So putting your manager's hat on here, you've got a great tool for managing activity levels. So answering those common questions like, how many leads are we getting? How many leads did we get this month? What's happened to them? Who's dealing with them? What's their status? How many calls have we done? How many client visits have we had? How many people have come into our showroom this quarter? So workbooks could easily give you answers to those questions. And of course, going back to what I said earlier, a key part of it is opportunity management, your sales forecasting. What sales, what revenue is coming in next quarter, and what's the likelihood of those orders, and what are they for, and who's going to sell them, and what's the competition, and what's the margin we're going to make on those potential sales as well. Great way of tracking those opportunities. And tools to help you in this way. We have a report writer in workbooks with about 50 or so standard reports there ready to get you started. You can create your own. They're nice looking reports, pretty colors, highlighting important information for you in red or yellow or some other color. And also complementary to that are dashboards to essentially summarize key metrics in your business. So leads by source, or sales activity levels by salesperson, or expected sales by product, or support calls by product type or whatever it might be. You can create dashboards on any of that. Okay, so let's go into Workbooks proper. Apologies for those people who are trialing it already if I'm mentioning something you already know, but I just wanted to go over why we feel Workbooks is so different from any other or many of the other leading, in inverted commas, CRM systems out there, and why we took it on as a product to supply to our customers some 6 or 7 years ago. So let me dive into Workbooks proper. So I'm showing it to you this morning in Chrome. I've just logged into Workbooks, and this is difference number one. Workbooks is easy to use. If you've seen any of the independent reviews out there on different websites, one of the number one feedbacks, one of the number one key things that most people remark about Workbooks is the ease of use and the interface. So this looks like, you'll recognize it, it looks like your Windows desktop with that start button down in the bottom left-hand corner and a Google-like search box to the right of that. You can type in part of someone's name or part of an activity or subject line of an email. It's going to find it for you in the system. But from that start button and that start menu, we've got access to all of the key parts of a proper CRM solution with right at the top there, people and organizations, the contacts and companies that you deal with, and you can dive into obviously one of those and then you'll see a list of all of, in this example, a list of all of the organizations. So that's point number one, the interface. And you've got these handy little desktops here so you can quickly go to key things that you might be interested in. So if you're a sales manager or a sales director, you're the MD, you want to know what's going on right now in your company. So you've got these nice informative dashboards there to help you see what's going on without the need to ask anyone. So that's point number one, the interface, ease of use. Secondly, the system is very, very customizable compared to some other CRM solutions out there. Let me just do a search here for a customer. Let's say we've got a client called Atlantic Computer Services, and let's go to their record. So this now is a record of a company. A new window has popped up here with some tabs running across the top there. You can have more tabs or less tabs as you wish. It's all very customizable. Now this form here, this screen, can be changed by you. No programming required. You can change these labels, the drop-down lists. It's all very customizable. You can create your own fields as well. When you create your own fields, you've got about 19 different types of fields that you can create. Text fields, numeric fields, date fields, check boxes, notes boxes. This one here is called an iframe, just to be a bit technical, sorry about that, but we can have a window here on some web or some internet information, something that's being published. That could be a little iframe window there that's seeing live information. So Workbooks is very customizable, and the users that use it as well, you can actually deploy lots of different security levels. In many other systems, you can't change too much what your colleagues can or can't do, or can see or can't see. With Workbooks, you can define user roles. So for example, if you've got a new salesperson that joins your company, you'd have a role called salesperson, and that role in Workbooks defines what salespeople can normally do, and it's just a very simple step, a very simple process then to set up this new person, add them to the salesperson role, and job done. You know that when that salesperson logs in, they can do and see what all the other salespeople can do. The third key difference with Workbooks is the fact that you can also create workflow. So in your business, do you have any processes or steps that you need to adhere to? That could be workflow. So rather like a flow chart, we can guide a customer or a person, a user, down a sequence of steps. And it could be presented to them from a drop-down list or automatically in the background when we change information. When we change information here, let's say I've changed some information and I save this record, automatically the system will recognize that change and it will kick into action. It will do certain things. It might send off emails, it might send an activity to somebody, it might change the value of a field from one value to a new value. So workflow and automation, getting workbooks to do things automatically for you, thereby improving your productivity, saving you time, making sure the right thing is done to the right person at the right time. Right, fourth area where we think Workbooks is different from other systems is the ability to track financial transactions. So you can, with Workbooks, create customer quotations. Let me go to a quotation that we've done previously. So let me click on this quote here. This now is a quote screen, all very customizable. As we saw previously with the record of the organization, we've got this familiar look and feel, this consistent look and feel to this quote screen with those tabs running across the top there, all the information about that quote. Top half of the screen here, we've got the key information about the quote. This is all customizable, but of course, what's this quote all about? Who are we quoting? Who's the salesperson? And then lower down, we can actually define and record all of the different products and services that we want to put on this quote. And from here, we can then generate a PDF. We can store different layouts. We can also send this quote by email, attaching this quote and other marketing collateral with it as well. So a very quick way of creating quotes, saving you time, getting out a really nice looking quote to you also, to your customer also. And then, and this is another difference between Workbooks and many other systems out there, you can then create an order or an invoice or a purchase order to supplier at some other type of transaction that relates to that order. Now, if I can just mention, there are two different editions of Workbooks. When you sign up for Workbooks proper, you've got two choices. And you can mix and match these two choices as well, by the way, as well. There are two editions. One's called CRM and one's called Business. CRM edition will do all of the CRM things that you'd expect, everything I've said so far, plus the ability to create quotes. And Business edition, which is priced slightly higher, I'll come on to prices at the end, will do the orders and the invoices and credit notes and recording customer payment. So a bit like a simple financial system. If your requirements, if your billing requirements are fairly straightforward there, you may not need something like Sage 50 or QuickBooks or the overhead of another application to do that. You could do it all in Workbooks. But we do have options for linking to QuickBooks and Xero and Sage 50, Sage 200 if you want to copy this transaction to another system. So that's the other area where we differ from other CRM solutions out there, the ability to create quotes and orders and invoices. Remember the two editions, CRM and Business. Now you can mix and match these two together. So let's say, for example, we identify that you could be 5 users altogether, 5 people that could use Workbooks. Well, you could have 3 people on CRM, maybe the salespeople, they're doing quotes and so on, and 2 people on Business. They need to see everything that salespeople do, plus the ability when the orders come in, they want to convert that quote to an order or an invoice without need for rekeying any information, saving time. So those 2 people could be on Business. You can mix and match these 2 editions. Again, something you can't do in many other leading solutions out there. For some other CRM solutions that just have where they have different versions, different editions, everyone's got to be on that edition. Not the case with Workbooks. So thereby saving you money making it relevant. You know, maybe salespeople don't need to see orders and invoices and payments. Well, it might be important for them to do that, but maybe there's some situations where they don't. You can mix and match these two together. Right, another key difference with workbooks is the ability to track customer support activity. Now, the language that the terminology that workbooks uses is a case. So all of these tab names, by the way, they can be changed. If you don't like the word cases, you can call it something else: tickets, problems, complaints, advice. We've got some associations and membership organizations using workbooks to track advice they give their members and associates. So, you know, you can call it anything you want to, but here we see 16 cases against this client, and we can click on one of these cases and see more information about that case. Incidentally, this form here, this screen of this case number 1169, all totally customizable as well. Here you see this workflow. I mentioned workflow earlier. See that run process? This is where we could run this process. So we do link to some other applications for form filling, electronic signatures and so on. So we could send, maybe we need to send some kind of form to a customer for them to fill in relating to this service call. That could be managed with a little drop-down list there. Or it could be, that process could be done automatically upon saving this record. When you've amended something and saving the record. So tracking customer cases as well. Another area where we're different from other solutions is the ability to track customer contracts. So do your customers have contracts with you? Do you supply maintenance contracts or service contracts? Let me just go back to transactions here, and I've got an example contract, customer contract here, contract number 9. This is a contract screen, a contract form, again all very customizable. So this is where we can track, a bit like we saw with the quotation in the top half of the screen here. We've got the key information about this contract, the name of the contract, different dates there, obviously who the end user client is, and then lower down, what services or what items are we looking after on this contract. And then those tabs, those consistent tabs running across the top there, the ability to see all the information that's going on about this contract. So what support issues have been logged against this contract? So there's 4 cases there, and we can dive into those as we saw them before. And again, the ability to see the transactions against these contracts as well. Right, so that's customer cases. Now, incidentally, if some of this information is not relevant to you, you can disable it. So if you don't want to use workbooks for tracking customer service, that can easily be removed from your screens. It's quite painless to do that. It can be reintroduced at a later date, but it's not then confusing you or making screens unnecessarily too complex if that kind of operation is not relevant to your business. Another area where we differ from other solutions is mapping. This was recently introduced into workbooks, the ability to, in this example here, let's say we've got a customer, Atlantic Computer Services. Maybe we're going to see this customer, and we've got some spare time on our hands. We want to see who are all of the people within a certain radius, depending on the time we've got available, the radius of this customer. And there we are. There's a list of all of the other prospects or customers, and we can zoom into some of these and see a bit more information. We can actually drill down here and see a map of this particular customer. Of course, you could cut and paste a postcode off and see that, but it's quite nice to have this mapping function exactly there where you need it. So that's a quick rundown of the key features of Workbooks and where we see it as being different with other solutions out there. Of course, finally, I'd like to say it is a UK system. So many other solutions out there come from the US, may come from Asia, and sometimes they may be difficult to make them work in the UK. You may see things like zip codes appearing, or maybe not being able to manage multiple currencies. In some countries, it's multiple currencies aren't important, and certainly we do support multiple currencies as well. So if you are quoting in euros, dollars, or whatever, we do focus on that. So it's a UK system. All the data is in the UK. Workbooks is a UK company. All the people are based in the UK. Nothing is contracted overseas. Right, as I normally do, to summarize, give you a bit more information on pricing for Workbooks. So here we are, we've got the two editions, CRM edition and business edition. Now you subscribe to Workbooks. You pay for it on an annual basis. We invoice you. And there may be some options to pay monthly depending on the sort of system you're going for. But here's the two different subscriptions, 228 per user, plus VAT by the way, 228 per user per year for CRM edition, and then business edition slightly more because it does everything it does. It does everything that CRM does, plus the ability to do your orders, your invoices, your credit notes and POs as well. So that's 504 plus VAT per user per year. There are some add-on options. For example, integrations to Outlook and Exchange. Some of the other features I've mentioned are optional. So for example, the mapping function, that's extra as well. Generally, these add-on options start from an extra £48 per user per year. Now, once we know your requirements, through a more detailed call or an online presentation with you, we can give you a formal quotation for everything that you need, including these subscriptions, options, and the all-important help or additional assistance you need from us to help you get the system up and running. So maybe you're the sort of person or company that likes to do things yourself, so we could give you maybe some initial training and then off you go. You do things yourself, but we're here in the background to assist you if you get stuck or you need to phone somebody or email somebody with a bit more advice. Or we could do the whole thing for you. If you're stuck for time, resources, you're not the sort of person that you want somebody else to do it for you, then once we understand your requirements, we can give you a quotation for implementing the whole solution, setting it up, migrating data, giving all the training, and all the ongoing support as well. So at this time of the call, I'd like to now open it out to our Q&A, questions and answers. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question section on your meeting control panel. So let me just, so first question from Danny. Salesforce is very customizable also. Why would I go for Workbooks? Good question, Danny. Salesforce is a very popular system, but we find that with people using Salesforce, incidentally, we've actually converted a lot of Salesforce people onto Workbooks, and the key reasons why Workbooks may be different from something like Salesforce is, well, first of all, cost. If you compare like with like, there are lots of different versions of Salesforce or editions. When you compare like with like, we're probably about half or a third of the cost of Salesforce. So instantly there, Danny, there's a cost of ownership benefit to having Workbooks as opposed to Salesforce. The second other key thing we find feedback from Salesforce people is that they think Workbooks looks easier, is easier to use, faster to use, Because of the interface, we've got that Windows desktop, the tabs running across the top of different screens, rather than Salesforce. If you look at Salesforce, it's pretty busy, it's pretty complex, and you've got to use the scroll bar a lot to scroll up and down and find information, which just detracts from overall efficiency. So those are the two key benefits for you there, Danny. But it's down to really what you want at the end of the day from a CRM system, and that's why it's so important that we have the opportunity of having more of a one-to-one session with you and your colleagues to find out exactly what you need. So I don't know whether you're using Salesforce or contemplating it, but there's the two main differences: ease of use, cost of ownership. Right, second question from Julia: can you automate a contract renewal process? Yes, you can. So you'd have to have the contract, ideally the contract module, contract option. You might be on the business edition as well. But yes, using workflow, you could automate the contract process. So for example, if you've got annual contracts, maybe 1 month before the contract renewal, an automatic quotation or email or a reminder goes to a contract person to do something, to send out the contract renewal. The contract renewal could be done through Workbooks. We can send out a PDF contract renewal to the client. Using the integration with Adobe Sign, we could get a customer signature for the confirmation authorization of that contract. Maybe if the customer doesn't sign up on that anniversary, we've got some process in Workbooks for managing chasing of that customer contract renewal. So if we haven't heard back from them after 60 days, maybe a salesperson has to phone them, or some other email goes to them, or fields change from active to expired. So yes, Julia, certainly we could track that. But it does need setting up, but we can do it. Right, I don't think there's any more questions coming through, so we're going to bring the call to a close now. Just like to repeat, as a follow-up to this presentation, do you need any more information? Please come back to me, Tim Wilmot, tim@wizard-systems.com. Do you need a more detailed presentation if we haven't done one already? I know one or two people on the call. I think we've done some presentations to your colleagues some time ago. Maybe you want a setup of the trial yourself. There's a free 30-day trial of Workbooks. You can put it through its paces, and we are here on hand to assist you. But maybe you'd like a demo before the trial. If you haven't done this before, please have a demo, because it can just allows us to show you, guide you down through the typical navigation around the product, so it really helps you then when you're running the trial yourself. Okay, so thanks very much for your time. Watch out for the recording if you want to look back and play back, but please contact me if you've got a project on the go right now and you want a more detailed discussion. We'd love to hear from you, but thanks very much for your time. I do appreciate that. Bye-bye.